Hello, is this Johnny?
Hey, how are you, Sir Jared?
Man, how you doing, my friend? What's going on with you?
Oh, just been doing some barbecuing and it's September, so getting ready for my yearly health inspection and getting ready to go buy all my city licenses and things like that. Plus, got two big nights at Talladega next week at the dirt track. Got the Supers Fair both nights for Red Farmer Tribute, so it's race weekend at the big track. So Talladega always runs Friday and Saturday, and gonna be some good racing.
Man, that's awesome. So tell everybody about your barbecue business and what you sell, what you make.
Well, I got a 30-foot concession trailer that's got a smoker on the back, and we do butts, ribs, we do sandwiches, plates, and all our sides, homemade potato salad, baked beans, coleslaw, mac and cheese, potato salad. We do roasted corn on the cob. We do barbecue nachos. In the wintertime, we do, I cook a big old pot of chili on the smoker and a pound of cornbread on the smoker. And we have about 40 things: hot dogs, corn dogs, chicken sandwiches, Philly cheese, just whatever, and a smoked bologna burger that goes over real well. We put tomato and lettuce on it and load it up, and that goes over real well. And we do the roasted corn on the smoker, and we do the Mexican street corn where we doctor it up, and that goes over well. So, and if events are big enough, like the Ice Bowl, we do breakfast. So it may not be exactly what somebody wants, but we can keep somebody from going hungry.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. Does it taste so good and make you want to slap your whole family and your cousins?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we shoot for. Everything we do is homemade. I make my own sauce on the smoker, and everything is homemade. I'm the main one. My daughter helps me. She's my right hand, and my wife helps me. But basically, we just a small family operation, and good Lord bless me, I've got a lot of good customers, and I've been able to line up a lot of good events, and really enjoy what I'm doing, and then enjoy it when people like my food.
Well, that's great. Well, the next time I'm up that way, I don't know when it'll be, the next time I'm up that way, I advise everybody in the pits of the racetrack to watch out, because I'm going to go slap happy and slap a lot of people.
Well, you always welcome, buddy. You come on and I'll fix you up.
So you set up in the pits at Talladega Short Track, the Hornet's Nest. So tell everybody about the Hornet's Nest.
Well, it's a high bank, 1/3 mile clay oval. It's directly across from Alabama International Speedway, and it's been a dirt track since 1978, I believe. Before that, it was a flat track motorcycle track, and I raced motorcycles on it in '74. So
how
it's
cool
been
is
around.
That?
It's been around a while, and in April race weekend, we had the World Outlaws up, and they put on a great show. Yeah, had 50,000 to win. And
wow, that's the Super Lates.
That's the Super Lates. The Super Lates will be in action both nights next week, along with the Red Farmer Tribute. 92-year-old, he's running crate now, and and Jerry Goodwin challenge will be next week. So any of y'all down that way that's coming up to the big race next week, come on in the pits. It's usually a NASCAR driver or two that makes an appearance over there. And it's 2 fun nights of racing. I mean, it's a lot of people say that they go to the big track, but to watch good racing, they come to the dirt track at Friday and Saturday night. It's always some good racing, and usually with all the divisions, you'll usually have a minimum of 200 race cars.
Wow. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I've been to the Ice Bowl up there 2 or 3 years, and I tell you, that's a mighty fine racetrack. Because I've been to Talladega Super Speedway. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I've been watching NASCAR since Moby Dick was a sardine, and and so, like, I've always been to the big NASCAR track, and then finally I went to the Talladega Short Track, and that was fun. I love watching those antique GMC and Chevrolet tow trucks. They got like 3 of them because I'm a big classic car fan, especially Chevrolet trucks.
Yep.
And I see these, I'm like, man, these are some cool antique trucks. They tow in the cars, and you talking about a lot of cars up there, and that is a super fast racetrack, mighty fine racetrack. And I believe Mr. Stewart that owns Crate Racing USA is now the owner of the track. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. He is a partner in with one of the gentlemen from Hoosier Tires. And talking about fast, I'm glad you brought that up, Jared. Before the season started this year, they tore the track up and put new clay down, and it is faster than it ever was. Yes, I mean, it's 2 and 3 groove racing. I mean, they run that high groove. He's put a wall around 1 and 2. Adam is he's come in there and he's really done a lot of improvements. He's had it a couple of years and built a new restroom, and he's cleaned the fence off and put a big sign up by the interstate where people from the interstate can see racing and maybe decide they'll go down, get off at the exit and come on up, and a lot of a track, and he has a lot more plans. And Adam, I don't really know how he does what he does, traveling all over the country with the crates and then running that and getting it done. But
I don't know either.
Old boy's jumped in there, and he's really done a lot of improvements. And talking to him, he's got a lot more he wants to make. So it's going to be fun to sit back and see what that little dirt track turns into.
That's awesome, because I met Adam Stewart. I met him at Tri-County Speedway one year when Crate Racing USA had the Touring Series come in to Tri-County. It may have been last year, and I met him, introduced myself and said, hey, my name is Jared. I work for Southern Dirt Track Report, and he's a mighty fine fella. He seemed like a real nice guy. I don't know him super well, but at the time, I think I've met him once or twice, and he's just been super nice to me. And, well, thank you for coming and that kind of thing, you know. I like to hear that kind of stuff when I go to a racetrack.
Yeah. He's got a full plate, but I'm gonna tell you, he's made a world of improvements, and from what I hear, more's on the way and everything. And I know a lot of the racers is really bragged on the track with the new clay, 2 and 3 groove, and a lot of them is running high, and they brushing that wall in 1 and 2, and it's producing some good racing. And them super lates come in next week. I believe it's a Hunt the Front series, and it's some big money up on the line, and so it's people can get entertained, they can eat good, they can have a good night of entertainment, and if they stay in anywhere close by, they won't have far to travel if they traveling up. But if they do come, I encourage them to come in the pits. It's no telling who will be there. They souvenir trailer set up to buy T-shirts and walk around, get autographs, take some pictures, talk. And, Jared, you being there, the backstretch of Talladega has a gigantic grandstand. And you can sit up there and see everything super good. So You know, you can get there early, mix, mingle, eat, shop, and then get up there and rear back and have a good night at the racetrack.
So have y'all broken any track records since they put the new clay on?
I don't think so. I think it's come close, but don't hold me to that. I know Jason Knight did have a track record, and I don't know if it got broke when the World Outlaws was here or not. I don't think so. And we had the World Outlaw sprint cars in March also. So,
ooh,
they put on a show.
Let me tell you, my dream race of races was to watch the World of Outlaw sprint cars, and I finally got to see them. I've been going to races for years, and I started dirt track racing in 2015. And I finally got to see the World of Outlaw sprint cars. I saw them at Magnolia Motor Speedway earlier this year when I went up there to Miss Teresa and David Little doing fuel arrestor stuff, and because they ordered a fuel arrestor from us. And so, because Mr. David drives the B-Mod class up there, so shout out to David Little, and then, of course, Teresa's brother races also, so they're teammates at CKC Racing, I believe is the name. So go watch them race at Magnolia. But, like, when I saw them World of Outlaw sprint cars, man, that was cool. Like, I saw Rico in the pits, going around the pits, and I saw Brad Sweet, and I spoke to Casey Kane briefly. But ideally, when you want to speak to these guys is, like, before the races, before they're zoned in. And I could tell Casey Kane was zoned in, but he did say, hey, how you doing? So that was neat. And so I was like, I just met Casey Kane, a former NASCAR driver. And so anyways, I watched them, and they broke the track record at Magnolia that night, and I was blown away at how fast their motor scooters were going. They were skint back, son. And they say them 410 sprint cars that go 120 plus, or close to 140. I believe it.
Yep. Now we had them the 410s. We had them Labor Day weekend on Sunday night, and I was up there and I was set up. I met some drivers, but I was there and I was set up selling, and I didn't even get to walk up to the track and see anything. I heard them, but busy with the trailer, I didn't get to see. But had a super good crowd that night, and a lot of us sprinters showed up, and everyone said they put on a doggone good show too. But I can just imagine you've seen them at a good place, because old Johnny Stokes, Dr. Dirt, knows how to prep a track, and the black ice down there, I imagine there was a wild bunch of bumblebees out there.
Yes, he does. And Johnny Stokes is a mighty fine fellow too, because
yes, sir.
I had a long discussion with him about the fuel arrestor at Why Not, and then I sent him the information on the fuel arrestor, so hopefully he'll get to look at that and maybe hit me up about something about it. But yeah, he's cool to talk to. He's the reason why they call him Dr. Dirt, because he knows dirt. He's the best dirt man there is.
Absolutely. He can look at dirt, look at a track, and know what it needs, and he can look around and see what he's got available, and he can make a track that's junk and rutted. He can make it raceable with just knowledge and experience, I guess. But you're right. He's a good guy. He's a good promoter. Magnolia is another track we're fortunate in the South to have, but it's a first-class venue, and we're very fortunate in the South to have a lot of tracks. And I encourage everyone to come out every chance they get, support their local tracks. They need it. This economy is not the best in the world, and
exactly.
Everything is going up, insurance on tracks, power bills, labor, and everything. And the tracks need our help. And if we enjoy it, they got to have a place to run, and we got to support them. And the more we support them, the more they can put back in the track in their place, and the more they can give the drivers, and the more you give the drivers, the more race cars you're going to have. So,
that's right.
I like to see every track talk about a good crowd in the stands and a good car count. So, first place I ever remember going in my life was to a racetrack, and my dad holding me on the shoulder so I could see. And I've loved racing my whole life. So it's something I want to see keep going and wanting people to fill them stands up.
Awesome. And something else is, of course, it's getting to be football season. I'm not a big fan of football. I used to watch it, and I watch Roll Tide, Alabama every now and then. But in my opinion, dirt track racing is better. Go support your dirt tracks because they struggle during football season. A lot of them, they don't make a lot of money, and we want to keep these tracks open. And I mean, to me, dirt track racing will always be any racing. Period. You can put a donkey and a buggy on it, and I'll still find it better than football as long as it's racing and giddy up and go. You know, I don't know. It just cars slinging mud and dirt is so much better than watching dudes tackle each other. That's just my opinion.
My wife, she was talking about people loving racing, and she pointed to me and says, that husband of mine said, I believe he would crawl on his hands and knees 3 miles to a dive to watch 2 cockroaches race around the bar stool. And she said that's how good he loves it. Says if it's on television, says he watches boat racing. He watches, says if it goes in a circle, he'll watch it, and that pretty well describes me.
That's awesome.
Yep. They do struggle in football season. Not only you got Bama and them playing, but you got a lot of little league games and Pee Wee football and what have you. So, but the track, it especially they need our help all the time. But if we want racing to go on longer into the year, we need to support it because if no one's in the stands, then they gonna pretty much cut it off when football starts. And a bunch of us old racing folks that. My ideal of a great night is to leave early and stop and eat somewhere and go to the track, meander around, and then get a place, watch it, and then stop at the Waffle House on the way in. My ideal of a great night. But
there you go. That's awesome. So you got, so I'm fixing to get with, so Donald Parker is next. You got anything else final you want to say? Anybody you want to thank?
I would like to thank you for having me on, and I really enjoyed meeting you and like talking to you with friends on Facebook, and I think you have a great product out, and
well,
I'm all with you about safety. Anyone racing, I would encourage them. First thing you do is put your money in safety gear, and then worry about the speed. But guys, don't skip on safety, and that goes from the helmet down to if you've got a $30 head, buy you a $30 helmet. But if you've got a high dollar head, get you a good helmet. And same for the fire suit, the gloves, and I've had some friends that's been burnt, and folks, all y'all in racing, it's not a pretty sight. And that sparkle, thing Jared's got out, it's a good thing, American made, and that thing ever blows up or you ever upside down and it starts leaking fuel or what have you, you'll go thank old Jared and say, that was pennies. That thing cost pennies what it was worth. So
that's right.
But
and
I thank all my Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So you're thanking your customers?
Oh, yeah. I always appreciate all my customers. Everywhere I go, I've known them. They repeat and know a world of them by name, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate their business. I appreciate their friendship, and a lot of times they come by early. We'll stand around, and I've got time to chat a minute, and I don't see them nowhere else but at the racetrack. And like next weekend, I've got ones I see twice a year from out of state. But they come, some race, some come to watch, but they make the trip. And I'm looking forward to that, to seeing some old friends, and that'll be it. And we wish you, in September, October, before we part, we say Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and a lot of them say, I'll see you for the Ice Bowl, and others say, I'll see you in April. But like I say, I love what I do. I've met a lot of great people, and just like right here, you one of them. And been to a lot of places, and I'm going to keep, I'm 65, but I'm going to keep going as long as the good Lord will let me.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for calling in.
All right, Jared, thank you, buddy. Thank you for what you do for the sport. And you got a week to figure out how to come up and spend the weekend with me next weekend.